In October 2021, about 1,000 police officers attended a private police training conference in Atlantic City. What we found was really disturbing. These kinds of attitudes and behaviors inevitably lead to violations of constitutional rights, to discrimination, and to lawsuits.
What the fuck I do for a living. There's nothing else I'm good at. I love violence, I love fighting, I love shooting, and I fucking love freedom. Then I'm gonna drink out of that skull. Fucking rad, right?
I'm not sure the guy who's fucking recording you like, oh, I am not a citizen of the United States under fucking Act 12, 6. Shut the fuck up, right? About to get pepper sprayed and fucking tased. Windows broken out, motherfucker.
Somewhere along the chase becomes, neither confirm or deny there's some videos out there with me doing just that.
I don't want to hear his exit. I don't want to fucking die at like 91 with hookers and cocaine around me, you know?
What the business is, people. It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis to be precise. You know how we doing, it, man. Back in here one more time for something sickening, something weird, something madness inspiring, man. Chaotic scene from up here, as far as I can ascertain it, man. We got some video, bro, from, well, first of all, if you like what I'm doing on this page, like and subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. But moving right along, man, we got some video from up in Atlantic City, New Jersey, from a police conference. Now, this video was actually put out by the comptroller of New Jersey. I don't know if they received a complaint, what have you, but they looked into this conference, man. This is a Street Cop Training conference. Now, the guy that gives this training, he's got a YouTube page, which is really chutty. You dig what I'm saying? But, you know, he gives tips to new cops, you know, new techniques on how to harass individuals and infringe on their rights. And he does it all with a smile, all with an air of gung-ho, let's go. But yeah, man, the happenings at this conference was crazy. But it just gives you insight to the type of attitude that an individual that looks to be a cop or that isn't employed as a cop. You got to have a certain mind frame, man. I know a couple of guys that turned out to be cops that I knew well, and it amazed me in some of the cases. But again, man, it shows you the mind state. It shows you the repetitive training that they get. You know, just infectious mind state throughout all the law enforcement, man, for the most part. I'm sure there's some good apples out there. But for there to be as many of them as they would like us to give them credit for, we don't see them showing their face in public or doing actual good deeds. We see a shitload more of them, you know, just doing crazy shit, man, infringing on people's rights and this, that, and the third. But we're going to get into these videos, man. The first one is going to be like a little statement from the comptroller, giving his assessment of the situation and how he feels about the parties involved. So without further ado, man, let's get to it. Loud.
In October 2021, about 1,000 police officers attended a private police training conference in Atlantic City. About 240 of the officers were from New Jersey. We investigated this 6-day conference hosted by a private company called Street Cop Training. The training was held after New Jersey, as well as other states, had adopted safety initiatives and reforms to reduce bias and excessive force in policing. What we found was really disturbing. Instructors taught unconstitutional policing practices, teaching officers to stop motorists without a lawful basis and to illegally prolong traffic stops. They denigrated women and racial and ethnic minorities. They promoted a warrior mentality and glorified violence. They belittled internal affairs. They dehumanized civilians. They made jokes about their genitalia and harassed members of the audience. And this training was paid for with public funds. Taxpayers paid for a training that normalized discriminatory and harassing behavior by public servants who were supposed to be held to very high standards. These kinds of attitudes and behaviors inevitably lead to violations of constitutional rights, to discrimination, and to lawsuits. And you, the taxpayers of New Jersey, pick up the tab. How did this happen? It happened because private post-academy police training in New Jersey is a free-for-all. There is virtually no oversight or regulation. As a result, companies like Street Cop can rent a room, charge officers or the departments to attend, and teach whatever they want.
All right, so there you see a bit of a scathing indictment, man, a blistering reprimand of the officials, you know, the Street Cop Training fellows, the departments that pay for this thing, you know, the officers that attended. So yeah, you know, what I ran down in the beginning was pretty much what Mr. Kevin Walsh reiterated, or a reiteration of what Mr. Kevin Walsh put out there. But yeah, that's what got us rolling, man. And you know, when they had things out here going, I'm sure everybody's heard about it, the things about the, you know, the defunding the police type of deal. You know, a lot of people would run with that and say, oh, you take all the money from the police departments and remove the police, is going to be chaos out there. That's not literally what that meant. But the over-policing of certain neighborhoods, especially by those involved with the type of rhetoric we see being spread right here. You got those type of guys over, and we've got clips of the actual officers on stage. But that's what those kind of policies were geared towards, man. Like if you got bad apples and just let them tell it everything is bad and every situation is bad and this person is not to be given the benefit of the doubt, this, that, and the third. We're trying to meet quotas. Fuck yay, all of that you'll hear in these videos, man. Like it's not a good mix. So, you know, things like that defund the police type of movement, these are the type of things that they were trying to combat. You dig what I'm saying? They still are, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how far those bills may have moved in various levels of government, but that was just a quick little sidebar, where the two intertwined and intersected, man. But let's get into these videos, and it's crazy, bro. It shouldn't be a surprise how they act, but to just do it out in the open and actually teaching classes like this is nasty work, man. Let's rock and roll. Blah.
I love what the fuck I do for a living. There's nothing else I'm good at. I love violence, I love fighting, I love shooting, and I fucking love freedom. It wasn't that long ago that we were drinking out of the schools of our enemies. Like, you know, like, I'm gonna fucking murder this guy, then I'm gonna take his head, then I'm gonna cut his head in half, and then I'm gonna boil his skull, and then I'm gonna drink out of that skull. Fucking rad, right?
I'm not sure the guy who's fucking recording you like, oh, I am not a citizen of the United States under fucking Act 12, 6. Shut the fuck up, right? About to get pepper sprayed and fucking tased. Windows broken out, motherfucker.
We don't like treating turds, right? You're like, fuck them. The ambulance can take care of them, right? And I had a problem treating, you know, gangbangers and the people that were the pieces of shit of society, right? I had a great mentor that told me, well, Sean, guess what? That's a live tissue lab, bro. Anytime you come to one of these shitbags, absolutely do the best you can. Absolutely, because what if he gets hurt, right? Or she gets hurt, or he gets hurt, then I can perform that flawlessly because now I've had some reps in. Everybody get that? Everybody with me on that?
Well, shit. I mean, in that clip, we ran the gamut from Roy Freak Tim Kennedy, former U.S. Army Special Forces guy. He loves violence. In fact, he'd like to cut a head off and boil it and drink some Crown Royal out of it. And he thinks it's rad, fucking rad, right? Then we skip on to Dennis the Menace Benigno. Dan Bongino, is that his brother? They got to be brothers. Dan says he'd like to break in windows and assault people that are out there using their video cameras. You know, the what they call them, the First Amendment audit guys type of deal. You run across Dennis, man. Dennis is going, and I've seen plenty of videos, man, that, you know, they don't understand that people have the right to record. They tell them to stay back and step back, and they just keep taking the step back footage further and further and further, and to the point when one of the auditors is like, man, I'm back far enough. I'm not interfering with your stop. And that's when they get to putting their hands on them. And it's just, I mean, man, listen to, and they have a conference again. There's 1,000 officers at this conference. About 240 of them were from the New Jersey area. So approximately 760 police officers. We see that Dennis is from Oklahoma. We see Shonda is from Oklahoma. But they've got different accents and things like that. So again, there are officers from all over the country at this training, man. We get down to Sean Burnett. Sean Burnett has a problem taking care of shitbags until his great mentor gave him the bright idea that, hey, you can get your reps up operating and take care of these people and learning how to work in the field so that if one of your fellow officers should have to go down, then you just be that much better at nursing him back to health. So that's when he said, well, yeah, I guess it's a good idea to take care of these gangbangers and, probably innocent civilians. I don't think he would make much of a distinction in his head as to what a gangbanger looks like. You dig what I'm saying? So it will leave you to believe that it's a certain type of people he's good with taking care of. But again, now that he got the epiphany from his partner, now he's like, I bet I'm going to get my reps up. Not I'll be a good guy and do what I'm tasked to do with every person that has an injury, but I'll take care of the untowards because it'll make me better when it comes to taking care of one of my fallen brothers if something should occur. Moving right along, man. Let's go.
In the South, it's the wild, wild west, south, wherever. You don't believe me? Run from Georgia State Patrol. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Run from me. Somewhere along the chase becomes neither confirm or deny there's some videos out there with me doing just that.
This guy pulls into a gas station, pops his hood up, gets out of his car. But yeah, in Jersey we don't pump our own gas. They do it. Other people do it. So kind of like right from the beginning, I was a little concerned about it.
Ask you a question. What's with the small rubber band? A little small rubber band. See that rubber band? Yeah. What's with the
Facial expressions. That's all I want. This was just a couple of rubber bands and driving behavior. Look at his hand shaking.
Do you have an ID, sir? Okay, can I see an ID?
That's not an 18-year-old kid dressed like Jesus coming eastbound out of Trenton. It's a 75-year-old black man, a change in driving behavior, came into a gas station, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you know what? Shame on me, because I look in there and I'm like, oh, got a couple small rubber bands. And all I'm doing is asking, hey, what's up with that?
Sean, is that like what they call the dude from Children of the Corn? That was Damien, right? Yeah. Sean Pardazzi. Sean isn't quite sure where the South is. The South could be out west. It could be out in the wild of the Amazon or maybe in the outback of Australia. He started with the South is the wild. I guess it's the South, like I said originally. Sean says that when you get into a car chase with him, it's not going to end with the pit maneuver of pulling you over and getting you out the car. He going to shoot you. You don't have to shoot at him. You don't have to be creating any other danger, any other situation other than not pulling over as fast as he would like you to. And maybe that may be a minimization of a police chase. Okay. You're evading the law. You're going faster. You're endangering civilians. But that doesn't warrant a police officer to shoot you. He talking like it's all good. Like you can just shoot a person in a police chase and just that's protocol. Man, wow, nasty work, bro. Nasty work. And then we get down to old Scott Kivett. Scott says that in order for him to be suspicious, all he needs is a change in driving behavior, which apparently could be as simple as turning off of the street into the gas station. Now, I know a lot of people do that because they don't like to have the police behind them. But how do you determine if they're not actually going into the gas station? But a change in driving behavior gives him onus to pull you over. Then he says it's a 75-year-old black man, as if that's a likely drug mule. You dig what I'm saying? What is Scott talking about? Scott said, "Oh, you saw the facial expression? That's all I need." So there's a facial expression out here that gives you away as being a criminal. Let Scott Kivett tell it. And then, God forbid, you have rubber bands in your car. I don't know when is this goddamn 1965 when they used to wrap like weed and stuff in a brown bag and wrap it with rubber bands. When was the last time rubber bands had anything to do with drugs? Unless you're talking about money. And even in that case, if it was rubber bands that were wrapping up bands of money, why would the rubber bands just be sitting there in the opening of the console? I could think of a million more uses, where in which rubber bands could have come from. But let Scott Kivett tell it. Those are signs of a drug kingpin, a nefarious person that needs to be investigated. Let's keep moving, man.
I don't want a hero's exit. I don't want to fucking die at like 91 with hookers and cocaine around me, you know? Like, why wouldn't that be your goal and objective? Like, I'm on vacation in Colombia, money, and these girls like are not as wealthy and they need to do things to make money.
If you're trying to get a little booty boot, poo, nanny, poon, tang, whatever the hell you call it, okay, there's an approach. You don't walk up and say, "Hi, what's your name? How old are you?" Sounds like casting couch, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there is like a little bit of a finesse. You gotta be a fucking gigolo.
All right, so normally in my class, we open up that beer tap and I just start spraying people with information. But today, you guys are just gonna get
I would be remiss if I didn't remind you or let you know that I have a 3-inch dick.
I'm not the one with a 1-inch dick.
There's actually people who drive around and will input into this website, "Hey, I just saw a fucking LV Series Pennsylvania."
Murder or something like that?
Ray, you got drugs in the car? I would never do anything like that. Yeah, okay. I watched this car come off the highway, and I fucked the shit out of the female driver. She doesn't want to fuck me back, though.
It's gonna be the sneaky peek, and you all know the sneaky peek. Every guy in the room right now is like, "What are you talking about?" It's like when you're there, and somebody walks by you, and you're like, "Don't look." They just don't look. Okay, oh, you know what? Hold on. "Hey, what's up, buddy?" Fake phone call. Okay, I looked.
Understanding pain, both physically and physiologically, it's important. When we understand what it does and what purpose it serves, it's just another thing that we can harness and that we can leverage as a weapon. I like it. Not like, "Hey, will you whip me later?" But maybe. Maybe.
Next person that challenges you about how we need to keep reimagining, ask he or she, him, her, she, him, whatever the fuck you want to call people now.
I'm from the Middle East. Everything is a business, even how we get married. You ever heard of the dowry shit? You know what a dowry is? I'd like your daughter. Can I have her? 150,000. You can have her all day long. You keep her. Don't bring her back. Middle Eastern folks in the class are like, "Dude, shut up."
All right, so a lot to unpack in that clip, man. We get Dennis saying he'd like to die at 91 with hookers and street drugs abound. Why not? That's the way to go. That's what he asked the crowd. What better way to go than at 91 with hookers around and other things, and other substances. This is crazy. Sean is familiar with the casting couch and dowries. He's trying to give his fellow participants some understanding about how dowries work. You pay a certain amount of money, you can have her as you wish. Don't be too aggressive with your approach because that gives casting couch vibes, of which he's probably a subscribed member. You dig what I'm saying? We've got Nick German. Nick German would like to spray the congregation with the tip, just the tip this time, followed by some guy, Brad Gilmore, who's happy to tell you that he's got a 3-inch phallus. You understand? What is it like? The vibe in that room had to be bad weird, right? Like, What are we even talking about? And I'm imagining that Brad was saying that's the reason he's just got such attitude out here in the world. You know what I mean? You ain't getting a lot of motion in the ocean if you ain't got but 3 inches on you. Nah, you know. Maybe white ladies, you know, they let them get away with that or what have you. But you know, what I know, the women I know, 3 inches ain't gonna get you. They ain't gonna get you no motion in the ocean, young smotion. Who we got? Rob just said something weird about, I don't know, pulling a woman over or watching a woman pull over, and you know, leading into Tommy Brooks from Boston, the ultimate sloppy shoeless creep. He talking about he like one of them voyeur pick dudes. He probably one of the type of guys walk around the Walmart or something trying to get pictures on the skirts. He's just sneaky peek. You know, everyone wants to get a sneaky peek. Then you saw up in the corner, they show a picture of a lady getting up on a tiptoe. Like, where do they even get these videos from? You saw earlier, one of the guys put the guy that said all he needs is the facial expression from a 75-year-old to stop him. They put a picture of a monkey up in the corner. Wow. Tim comes back again with wanting to be involved in some type of BDSM type. It really took a turn for the sexual on this last set of clips, man. A room full of guy cops. I can't imagine there was any women cops there. A room full of guy cops talking about being strapped and whooped and how big their phalluses are, and it's weird. It's weird. I just got to say that it's weird. But those are some of America's finest, man. We're rounding to the end of this video. We got one more set of clips, but again, America's finest. Let's go.
We get kicked in the dick one too many times, when we get in trouble by IA, when we lose our motivation and inspiration. I harped a lot on all the negativity. How many times I got kicked in the dick because they didn't want me to go out there and hit a trap, and they didn't want to hit money, they didn't want to hit me kilo. I hit 15 kilos, I hit 300,000. I'm still getting yelled at.
Somebody with some kind of fucking thing on their shoulders or neck collar or fucking whatever said, hey, we watched your body cam videos. We don't think you got a voluntary consent. Here's 7 pieces of case law, fuckhead. Stop trying to back the 19-year-old dispatcher. Get a fucking life. We show up, especially when we're new, hammering out fucking tickets like they're going out of style. I don't care, bro. Speed's for speed. I'm saving your life. Shut the fuck up. Saving your life. We don't like to write, this is the fucking fun shit, like you see that shit on like Facebook. We don't like to write tickets, but we do because we care about your loved one. Here's a crash car. Yeah, and then every fucking friend of yours who you work with does 106 and a 50, and you stop and you're on a job. Hey, have a good one, right?
Yeah, man. So there you have it, at the end of our little clips, man. And you know, all bullshit aside, man, it's a lot of jokes to be made in that, but again, man, this is the state of policing in America. You dig what I'm saying? That attitude is prevalent through every state, every precinct, man. And it just boils down to the type of individuals that choose that job for a living, man. Do we need police? Absolutely. Are there people out here that definitely need to be in prison and this, that, and the third? Of course, man. But I think you can see from that example and many examples that you see around you, just turn on your TV on any given day. There's a disproportionate amount of policing in certain communities done by particular individuals. And from what it looks like, man, that it just breeds a culture. That culture breeds a particular type of individual. And when they feel so emboldened, man, like it's okay, everybody's buddy. You heard the guy say that they talk about, you know, I don't know, writing tickets and upholding the law and being forthright until they pull one of their buddies over and it's all good. They let them go. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a bad deal, man, but it's nothing that, again, that you should be surprised about. This is nothing that people haven't seen before, man. And it's just, it's, you know, the origins of the police though, man, and just what, you know, how they started, you know, that flavor, that attitude, it hasn't left. And in fact, here in the last handful of years, due to the political climate, I think it's gotten even worse. I think you've had more people going and getting into that field that had views that weren't of common sense, man, and more the type of individuals that you see here. And they slap each other on the back and encourage the type of behavior, man. So, you know, keep your head on the swivel out here, man, because you definitely have a large majority of people that are here supposedly to protect and to serve, that abuse their authority, man, and wield that power in untoward ways, man, in the wrong direction, taking advantage of people that should not be taken advantage of. So this has been That Way with Jack Travis, man. I'll get with y'all soon. Loud.